A very warm welcome to Amreen, and this is your host for the evening. I am
Yes,
Krishna, and I'm the co-founder of the Soulful Exploration. And each of you have been seeing me in different stars, but here at the Soulful Exploration, which is a very, very passionate venture of mine. What we simply do is connect with such beautiful people and take them to the journey where they are going to be actually helping others reconnect back to themselves. So that's what soulful exploration is all about, because each one of us have got some sort of an expertise, some sort of an experience where we know and where we can share with the world what exactly it means to reconnect back to ourselves. And why do we reconnect back to ourselves? Very simple, because once we are in a better relationship with ourselves, our external changes so beautifully that we are in a better place to connect with people, to make and enrich those relationships. So everything that we do at the Soulful Exploration, whether it's a masterclass, whether it's a retreat, whether it's a conversation with somebody, has the same intent. How do we teach people or guide people to reconnect back with themselves, love themselves, rediscover themselves, and find themselves again? And here I welcome our next masterclass, which we will continue doing. Today we have Amreen Luthra, a very young entrepreneur. And of course, she runs her own company, right? Amreen Luthra Training Solutions. I mean, at a very young age, I'm sure you've had the good fortune and probably the right mind space to want to impact in ways that you know the best. And today we are going to be talking with Amreen leading the stage. Okay. I will slowly disappear so that she can come and talk to you about personality and how do you demystify it? Because when you look at the internet, we are talking about personality more as boxing ourselves into something. Do we really need to box ourselves into something? Because then we start living that personality. Is it that we can create the personality? Which means you need to understand, we need to understand who we are. You need to understand who you truly are to create that personality. So that is what Amreen is going to be doing. She's going to demystify, literally break those myths, and then, well, I'm not going to say anything more. Over to you, Amreen. Have fun. And each of you, remember, please keep putting your comments and I will be taking your questions. And please feel free, because Amreen is just amazing. She'll take all your questions, right? So just keep typing in the comments box and I'll come back soon. So Amreen, all yours.
hey, thank you, Anu. Thank you for having me. I mean, you said such great things about personality. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you and have this conversation with our viewers. Well, thank you for having me. And well, guys, I'm sure I can't see you. I mean, this new virtual world allows us not do it the old way. Like every webinar is not equal to a seminar we used to take in good old days. But here we are, nevertheless. So, personality has always been one of my favorite aspects of, I like one of personal development because it's like the base of everything we start at. So today we're talking about, like Anu said, we're going to demystify that word called personality. We hear it so often nowadays in the world that it is often that you always want something else. For example, I really like how Anu at when I reach that level of the learning, the experience she has, I would like to have certain qualities she has right now. That's like very selfish of me. But we always want personality traits which others have, and we always want, right, Anu? I mean, we always been there,
Yes,
correct?
yes, yes, yes.
We see so many speakers sometimes, like they speak so well, they dress so well, the content is so well, they engage it so well. We always want what others have. I'm sure all of us have been there. Have you raised your hands? Have you been there where you'd want to desire these qualities which others have? I'm sure we all have been there, and it's very common thing amongst us now that in the virtual Instagram world we see so many things from other people, um, and we always want that. So today we're going to break it down to, if you are a certain way, if you have certain traits which you think are not making you successful, are not taking you where you want to be, are not taking you, maybe you don't like them, maybe. So can we change them? Can we make new traits? Can we have a new personality? Can I create a new me? For example, when I was young, I had certain things, and I read books. Self-help books is the best way to learn new traits, new skills. So I gained certain things. Now I look at others. I look at, I look at Anu. I mean, she's been one hell of an inspiration. I have spoken to her a few times, and the conversation has been so energetic. Like, it feels like I'm talking to somebody so young and who has so much of experience, but yet, that lively energy you connect with, and you want to do more things. Like, I was so motivated to do some things after we hop on that call, Anu. It really helped me open up. So, well, guys, I want to talk to you about certain things today, which I have believed has changed the things I have learned about personality. So, let's start with a little reflection upon us. So, I would like you to reflect upon your own personality. I would like just see yourself. Do you like all the traits you have? Do you like all the, if you are a type A personality, type B personality, if you're shy, if you're an extrovert, if you are somebody who talks a lot, who's energetic, if you're somebody who's very thoughtful, um, all these, different traits of type A and type B personality, and rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being that if you like these traits, or 10 being that you want to change, you want to become something else. So I would like you to just rate yourself whether the personality you have, how much do you like it, or how much would you, you would like to change it, or you're like, okay, Amreen, I think today is the day I'm gonna write down some personality traits I want to have, and let's do it. So I am gonna give you 10 seconds to rate yourself, guys. Come on, and then we're gonna go dig deeper into how we can get more of the traits we want, or how can we change it, or can we change it. Okay, I'm sure we have a number. Anu, do we have these comment sections which I can see? No, right?
No, you will not be able to see them, but I'll try and feed them back to you. So don't worry about it. If something
Okay.
coming in, I will just keep shooting it back to you. Yeah.
Okay, okay, thanks. Okay, guys, so well, if you have a number, a 3, a 5, a 6, a 10, it doesn't matter. Well, we're going to dig deeper into how that number can be changed, or how we can get better at it. Well, keeping it simple, personality is a person's persona. When you look at somebody, when you meet somebody for the first time, it is something you look at them and you analyze them, right? Whether they are outgoing, whether they are, they talk a lot, whether they're shy, whether they're somebody who you'd want to be friends with, you'd want to be connected to, whether they're lively, whether they send you that positive energy. I'm so sorry for that background noise. Um, so, guys, that is what a personality is. So basically, what influences our personality? There's something called as genetics, right? We are born with a certain traits. Then there's the environment, what nurtures us, our parenting, the societal variables which makes us the person we are. And nevertheless, we all love ourselves somewhere down the line. But being in this crazy big world, we would always want to get more out of what other people have. And trust me, it's the common desire to have what others have. And today I'm going to give you a few tricks which will help you basically create your own personality, create that new you we always talk about. And to know more about that, I want you to write down a few things for me. Are you there with me? I'm sure I can't see you, but
Yes,
i
yes.
would
So there
I
are
would
people who are interacting, so you can just keep going ahead. Don't worry.
Okay, okay, okay,
I'm
perfect.
putting in numbers and yes, yes. So you just carry on and be in the flow.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, well, guys, so I would like you to do certain things for me before we dig deeper into the ways we can create a new self today. So there are certain things I want you to pin down. Okay, the number one is that there's the traits you'd like to have. The new you. In by the end of this master class, we can do few things that I can have a few traits I would want to have, and we will find the how part of it. How can we actually do that, and how can I actually implicate and execute all of this after the class? So I wanted to write down your traits which you would like to have. For example, I would like to have XYZ. I want to be more thoughtful. I want to have clarity of thought. I want to be able to have that confidence which this Instagram person has. Maybe I want to be able to navigate through life with that positivity this person has, that person has. I wanted to write down these traits you'd like to have. It could be very personal. Let's write it down what trait we would like to have. I'm sure this is a very reflective exercise. It will take you much more time than what is required, but at least I'm sure you have 2 or 3 of them. So coming to that age-old question of are can personalities change? We've been always been told that you are like this, you'll never change. Our conflicts are majorly because of one thing, that you are this person, you'll never change. I'm sure if we have you've seen it in your partners, you must have seen it when you argue with your parents. They always end up coming to one trait, that this is your trait, you'll never change. And science says that you can change your personality, you can create the person you want to be. And nature and nurture versus this debate, where you are inherently somebody, and this fixed mindset that no, I will never be able to change, I'm a hot tempered person, I always behave in a certain way, I'll never be able to come back to that relaxed mindset what you have. No. Let's cut that down, because trust me, research has proven that there are certain things which you'd follow right away from today onwards can change that personality trait. You can break that, and you can get into that new road of being your new self. So are you ready for it, guys? Are you ready to understand that if I want to achieve those traits which you've written down, okay? And would you like to get into the depth and understand how can I be this person? Of course, it's very challenging. No doubt, nothing in life is going to come easy to you. If you have that innate trait of being a certain way, it's going to be a challenge for you to come out of it, but it is very much possible.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do today is that dig deeper into understanding how can I break myself, come out of these traits. So research has, there was a lot of research is done, and this is one research which says that there are some in between qualities, okay, between the genetics, what you've received from your parents, and there's this quality of the environment. So, for example, you are somebody who's a very extroverted person, who's somebody outgoing, who's always laid back, relaxed. But when you are in a stressful situation or a stressful work environment, you become hot-tempered. You become, annoying. You are somebody who'd always your colleagues will stay away from. So that's an environmental situation which is making you a certain way. Correct. So there's a way which there are some in-between qualities, they're called as, which can change this behavior of yours and make you your you self. Now, what are these things? There are top 3 things which the study has found out, okay? And it talks about 3 things which are extremely important. So do you have your pen and paper ready with you? Okay. So well guys, there's something called as number 1 is called belief systems. So, belief system is something which basically represents you, the way you see the world, the way you connect with others, the way you represent yourself in the world. It is the underlying codes you have, which basically makes you do certain things. For example, I have a belief that I'm too young for something. That would stop me doing a lot of things in life, etc. Or maybe I'm too old for something. There's some lot of common beliefs which are built across in the world, and there's something called as I'm gonna give in some common beliefs which are so limiting to you, which will hamper your growth. Something called as I don't have the time. A very basic one. I don't have the time now that we live in the work from home environment. We still don't have the time. Then there's a belief that maybe I'm not rich enough. I'm too old for something like this. I don't have, maybe I'm not good enough. These beliefs will basically stop you from doing a lot of things which you otherwise would have done. So the number one way to develop these in between qualities and get yourself that personality you want to change is that changing your belief systems, changing the way you represent yourself, the way you talk to yourself. You can start with making these new beliefs which will actually help you grow and become this new person. So for example, I have started with this, I have these codes which I tell myself, and it helps me build whatever I'd like to do. So you can start with whatever personality trait you're looking for. For example, I'm a shy person. I would want to be more extroverted because my work profile asks me to be a certain way. So I'm going to start with that belief which I'll break, is that hey, I'm not shy. If you break those beliefs, it starts there. It's a starting point. Of course, it's very hard for you to believe that I'm not shy. Who does that? But when you start that, okay, I'm going to be little open today, I'm going to behave in a certain way. When you start changing, working that underlining system or the code which you've set for yourself, because your mama, your family told you a certain you this is this. Number two is the second way to change your, get develop those qualities is the behavior patterns. So now we behave in a certain way when a situation comes to us, right? These behaviors basically, if you start changing these behaviors, your personality or the trait which you're looking at will start changing. For example, like I gave you the first example where the person was in a stressful situation, he becomes this. Now I have a friend who is somebody who's very calm, who's really calm in whatever situation. But when she goes to this, she had this partner where whenever they get involved, she used to become a crazy, hot-tempered person, and it would end up changing her entire personality. She would have an alter because she used to behave in a certain way with that person. So she started understanding when can I, being aware of my behavior when I'm with a certain person can change the way you look at yourself. Now, again, coming back to the original thing, it starts small. It will not directly change in one night away, right? We have to start somewhere, small, small things. And the third one is habits. Now, habits is something which we do on the daily basis, which can start if you inculcate a new habit. If I want to be this, 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 what habits can I inculcate now? We all have Google with us, right, on the fingertips. One Google tip, and you will actually understand how can you develop which habit for which skill or which trait are you working for. So these are these classic three things which you can develop on. And if you work on these three things, trust me that creation of new habit is a simple process to get to. Anu, what do you think? Do you think when we work on these and we can get it to working on?
Sorry.
Do
Yeah,
you think
working.
if we work on three of these qualities,
Okay.
behaviors, the habits, and working on my belief system, it would create a new personality? I'm sure we've been there.
It would, it definitely would. But, and I also would like to say, as you brought up these 3 points, it is also necessary for people to become aware. Once they become aware that a particular behavior, a particular habit is kind of detrimental, or it has been, sorry, can you hear me? Yeah. So perhaps something, a behavior or a habit is becoming detrimental. That point of awareness is very important. So it is very, very necessary to keep looking at the environment, the response from the environment. Only then will you be tempted to change, right? What do you think about it? Otherwise, nobody will know. I could keep doing the same thing, okay, and think that everything is fine. But let's say that particular behavior is not giving me the desired results. The response is not good. That should be the moment of awareness that, oh, okay, something doesn't seem to be working. That's when you look and go back into, I guess, your habits and the behaviors that you mentioned. I mean, that's my thought process, but you can add to it.
Absolutely, absolutely true. It starts with self awareness. Like, in the psychology and the study of personality, there have been so many big, big studies. This is one of the starting points of any psychology class where they talk about personality. And trust me, they start with the awareness. It starts with you being, aware that, okay, I want to change that because of me. This is
Yeah.
happening in the environment. Like, my family, my friends are behaving in a certain way because we all are responsible for the communication I give out, right? Communication is the response you get. So if the response is a certain way, well, it's me. I come back to myself because the only thing which is in my control is my own personality, my persona, which I can give out. So, Anu,
Exactly.
I was working out on this, and I have we created out this plan. And what do you think if we give a little task to our audience, like
That's because I know questions have begun to come, and there's some, thoughts also which I'll share. So you go ahead with your tasking,
absolutely, absolutely. So a
right?
little task, and maybe then we can take up the questions.
Sure. Yeah.
So, guys,
So,
maybe Hanji,
haha,
please.
please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I was just giving a little homework to do. What you can start with. The first exercise we did was realizing what traits are you looking at to develop. Number one, because if you're not changing, you're not growing. And this fixed mindset that I am going to be a certain way because I'm this will not give you the result. The growth mindset where we come from is the only place, like she said, like Anu said, will give you that awareness, that will give you the understanding to change yourself, because only then we are happy. Growth equals happiness, right? Tony Robbins has said this 100 times. And I absolutely believe in it. When you're growing, when you're trying to change yourself for the betterment of your own self, your own success. So what you'd like to do is make a list of things you'd like to develop. Number two is understanding what behaviors, what self belief systems which you have are stopping for you to achieve that goal. And the third one is inculcating the habits which you would like to, you'd have in the daily run for you to, it's for easy, it would be easy for you to get into that process if your habits change little by little, but that's the starting point. Over to you, Anu. I will look at a homework. For example, maybe you can get in touch with me on the social media platforms. You can get in touch with our host here, Anu, and she'll get back to me. We are available everywhere. I would love to take your questions, in-person messages, and you
Okay.
can send in me
So, yeah.
all the
Before
things.
I get into the question, there's one thing that I'd like to probably have your opinion on, and then we can go to the questions.
Sure.
If when you type the word personality on Google, and we don't call Google just as Google, it's Google Baba. It has answers to everything, right? So when you type personality, a lot of times, there are things that you don't want to see. Personality disorder, types of personality, what kind of personality are
I
you? Okay. Do you believe that uh, these kind of information that is passed on in the internet, I'm sure it is in good intent, but does it have an impact on the way we'll start to look at ourselves? Because there are a lot of self-assessment tests out there, right? We're talking about here, we are going into a deeper concept, like you went. You're talking about subconscious, you're talking about belief systems, you're talking about behaviors, habits. Now we are looking at something more deeper. Now, none of these tests could possibly identify those things. It just tells me I am this type, I am type A, I'm type B, and it takes me to I'm a thinker, I'm a doer, I'm these kind of things. And then for quite some time, I was very enamored by it because it's nice, right? To go ahead and tell people, oh, I'm a compassionate thinker. It's nice to have these labels. But does that truly define a human being when we are talking about demystifying this personality? Let's say somebody takes an online test. How accurate do you think it is? Should people believe in it? Should people rather look deep within themselves or look at that? What do you suggest?
Well, I have been there, Anu. I have loved taking these tests all around, and I keep taking. I still do them. You get these magazines where what type of person are you? Are you this personality? But truth being said, they don't show anything real. I'm sure a person of dual interests. So if I'm in a happy mood, I'm taking it. I'm gonna be really happy with my answers. I'm gonna be agreeing too strongly. So these tests are apparently just very momentary. It gives you pleasure in the moment, but it doesn't give you any solutions for that matter. If I'm a type A, what do I do? Like, okay, you are a type A. Like you said, you're a compassionate thinker. It doesn't do anything about for us, but it's no harm if you're not taking it to your mind. But if you think there are a lot of people, we will make these our belief systems. Okay, I'm somebody who's an introvert. Like, if I may continue, there's nothing called as introvert or extrovert. We are all ambiverts. So if you think you're an introvert, you're not an introvert, because an introvert loves talking to his own 5 to 10 people, like his own bunch. An extrovert is somebody who would also want his me time. So we all are ambiverts. There's nothing called as on the scale you're a 10 or a 1. We always come in by 5, 6. So I would recommend do them, but do not take to your heart and make them your beliefs. Like I said, again, it will underline all the things you do in life just because one test told you that maybe you're not somebody who thinks like this. And so let's not take it seriously. Google is not supposed to be. You have to do your research a little more, get deeper find a coach to help yourself, and dig deeper. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually, because words have a particular energy, a power on your subconscious mind. So what you're feeding into your system can start to become your reality. And it's very important, like a lot of people would come and ask me, are you an introvert or an extrovert? I said, I'm neither, and I'm not going to actually, just to, dig a little deeper. I would even say, no, I'm not an ambivert, because I think I behave in a particular way according to the context that's with me, right? So somebody, let's say I'm with a group of friends, I would come across, or people that I'm very comfortable with, I would come across as a very, very extroverted person because I'm very comfortable around them.
Absolutely.
But I'd like to retreat into my space. Okay. So then, I mean, do I call myself an introvert? No, it's just that the context varies. I keep, portraying an element of myself. I keep changing. That's what we are meant to do. As human beings, we learn how to adapt according to a situation. So what Amreen and I are actually trying to say, and Amreen actually very touch base upon it. I mean, look at all these tests, okay? Have fun with them, which is what I do when I'm bored. Like on a Sunday afternoon, I would just get bored and I go, chalo, let's take a test, okay? But hey, a word of caution. Please don't go into tests which try and describe that you have a personality disorder, because these kind of things can start, and that is why we are trying to demystify it, because they start to work on your mind, right?
True, true.
How can somebody who doesn't know you on the other end, based on a set of questions, and remember, you're taking those questions at test in a particular state of mind, how can it say you have a personality disorder, borderline, multiple personality? I mean, the words that get thrown out. So have fun with it, but don't box yourself with it, right? We don't need to be labeling, because then, like,
or maybe have it under the guidance, Anu, what say?
Yeah, I would still say have fun with it. Don't go overboard. Okay, so we have a question here that
Yes.
says, how do we change or modify?
Anu, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry. I think we kind of lost Amreen here. Hello. Yeah, Amreen, are you back?
Anu, hello.
Yes, yes. You're just kind of breaking up. I guess there's some sort of a static. Yeah, you might want to. Yeah.
Anu, I'm sorry I lost you. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
so
I'm
the
so sorry I
question
lost you.
is, the question is, how do you change or modify a belief system which is part of your life since your childhood? So this person actually is asking, suppose we picked up a belief system in our childhood, and we know that, by the time with the age of 7, it's like, it is cemented inside your, your neurons are like, it's just programmed in a particular way. So, or it could be even a hand-me-down belief, right? Whoever we are raised with, or the teachers in school, your influential people, they say things and then you're like, it's the gospel truth at that point of time.
True.
So what do we do if we have to modify these kind of belief systems? That's one of the questions here. And guys, keep sharing the questions. Okay, I'm gonna try my best to actually take them to Amri. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Anu. Well, that's a great question. I've always believed, I've had certain beliefs which like you said, hand me down, got it from my parents. But then I grew up and I realized that maybe this is not the way I can think, because I looked around the world a different way and I tried to challenge those beliefs. What you can do is, for example, there was a belief. So I'm a Punjabi, and my dad had given us a belief where we don't eat a certain food on a Thursday, and I had followed it I think during till my 10th standard. And suddenly I realized one day, maybe why am I not doing this on a Thursday? We do it all the time. So I asked him, why do we do it, Papa? And he's like, because somebody told him to do it, and we've been following it entire lives. And then I realized maybe I don't have to do because somebody told him to do something, and I tried to challenge it. I figured something out of myself that if I do that, it is not going to harm me. So I started eating that fruit or that food. I still do that because. So step number one, challenge yourself. Is that belief helping you, or is that a limited belief? Limited belief is something which limits you to your growth. So ask yourself, just look around, something which was given to you is not supposed to be good. Even if you got it from your parents, it is okay to challenge them, not in a rebellious way, but yes.
Yes. So yes, I'm just going to add on to that with your permission. Is right. So we carry these these belief systems, and you very beautifully said that it's good to challenge it. Okay, but here's the thing about challenging. most often we don't even realize that these are belief systems. We don't even realize we're just on an autopilot mode, right? We are just programmed to behave in a particular way. And the key, what Amreen is trying to actually say, I guess we lost her again. The key here is to stop and ask. And the feedback from the environment is something that will make you want to challenge that belief. Because if you get a feedback from your environment that is not very healthy, which people are unhappy around you, then obviously you know it's not doing something well for you, right? So it's time to take that step back. Just take that step back and observe and ask, what is this belief doing? Right? Is it what to say? Is it doing me anything positive? Is it taking me in the right direction? If not, like Amreen was saying, it is a self-limiting belief, which means it is you're practically sabotaging yourself. So take a pause, step back, and actually ask yourself, how can I change this? How can I make it more useful? That's the key to this entire thing. So I think we have lost Amreen, but don't worry. We're just going to wait for her to come back. And in the meantime, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we're doing these master classes. Is we want to be getting speakers from across the globe, because we have such wonderful souls who not just know their skill, but have a heart where they want to actually impact in ways that they know. And at Soulful Exploration, we want to bring these wonderful souls where they can speak with you. And we're going to be doing it every other week. And please join in, because the next one is on April 8th, where we're talking about picking a leaf from here, right? Self-limiting beliefs. We're going to be talking about the belief code, which means your coded subconscious beliefs. And that is going to be, I promise you, something very, 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 very deep. So you would not want to miss that for the world. Okay. And Amreen is back, and Amreen was just telling them about, how belief systems, how we can challenge them. And April 8th, we're going to be getting another speaker who is going to be talking on the belief code. So it's just going to transition very beautifully, Amreen, from here to the belief code. Okay. And the reason why we get, together every other week is that we are actually building a conscious circle of excellence. Conscious because each one of us have got to start becoming very aware, becoming a part of, okay, what are my thoughts? What am I learning? What is it that I'm doing? Am I taking feedback from the environment and changing? Has the process of self-mastery and code transformation begun? So each speaker brings their energy, brings their talent, brings their expertise and experience and share, and they become, part of this conscious circle of excellence, because we have it in us to bring that excellence out. It's just hidden. So we're just clearing the clouds here. That's my favorite phrase. We're just clearing the clouds so sun shining. So I'm just going to see if there are, okay, Ritika Kapoor is saying she's watching. Latika Kalantri says, it's awesome. Avinash says, watching with you. Okay, we have another human, lovely soul saying, behavior is something, it's just a thought. Behavior is something that comes from my subconscious. How can we make this change at a subconscious level? So it's a question from a thought. How can we make a change to an unfavorable or an unresourceful behavior from a subconscious level? And for our viewers, whoever's watching, I'll just kind of, put it in very simple language. Each of our behaviors, though it looks like, now I'm just taking a pen, it's just I'm programmed to pick the pen when I want to write, right? But where is this coming from? How do I know that I've got to pick a pen to write? I have programmed that into my subconscious mind, which is responsible for 90% of my behavior. So all changes that you want happen at the subconscious level. So this is a question. If behavior is something that comes from my subconscious, and if we're looking at an unfavorable behavior, how can we make a change at a subconscious level, Amreen? Go ahead.
Thank you, Manu. I'm so sorry I lost you in between. But yes, so well, that's a great thought, and it is absolutely true. So there's something called as conscious learning, right? So what happens is when I want to make a change, for example, let's look at this classic way of conscious learning is dieting. So when I want to decrease or increase weight, what I do is I'll make sure that I'm consciously eating 5 times, small portions, certain food, and it has to be absolutely conscious. Only then, after a period of maybe 20 days, 30 days, my weight would either decrease or increase, whatever I was looking at. So there's something called as conscious learning, conscious behaviors. If I, like I told you, if I behave a certain way with a certain person, there might be some triggers which triggers me to behave a certain way. So what I can change is that whenever I am put in that situation, number one, you have to talk to yourself about that. Okay, Amreen, here we are. You're being challenged. You're being questioned. You don't have to be defensive. What you can do is take your time out, go away, and come back and sort this out. So that conscious learning or conscious behavior will come when I have developed that awareness. So short-tempered people are somebody who have a very classic way, like they always blurt out, or because they're not consciously doing it, so they blabber out things which are, they don't mean it, but they happen to do it, and then they realize that it shouldn't have happened. So coping mechanisms could be that whenever I'm feeling angry, I'm going to walk out of my room. I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'll take my space and I'll come back and behave in a certain way. So conscious learning is the answer to your behavior solutions.
Conscious learning, yes. I like this particular video that I had watched on that. If you really need to understand, reaction versus response. So you hold, water, a Bisleri bottle in your hand, okay, and you hold a Coca-Cola and you shake both, and then when you open, right, the Coca-Cola, it's like that's reaction because it's just going to like fizz, right? And water, it's still. That's your response, right? So we all want to be like that water, no matter, how people shake us up. And yes, it's good to take a pause once in a while. Now, this talking about is more in the sphere of a general thing. But if I were to put it into context, let's say we're talking about personality, let's say let's say in organization, right? When whatever industry that could be, right? There's a certain type of personality that we need to portray, and it could be acquired, right? It could be acquired, which is sometimes quite different from who we truly are. Like I said, it's context based, right?
Absolutely.
Right? I can't be my jolly self. I can't just break into a song, though I would love to do that. People who know me very closely know that I can just sing about anywhere. But yes, there is a certain decorum that you've got to fit into. There's a role that you're playing. So let's say that a person is a very quote unquote, again, I'm labeling, I'm sorry for that, but the phrase a happy-go-lucky person, okay? Let's say he or she finds it a little difficult, okay? Let's say he's got a boss who's kind of serious. There is a little, already there is a friction because it's two different personalities we're talking about, right?
True.
So where there's somebody who's very bubbly and wants to and is constantly ideating and constantly talking, and the other person like, okay, and it can be quite dampening. So what would you say? It's about creating a personality, right? It's about not losing your essence, yet adapting to the external. So how would you, help the person deal with something like this?
Anu, this is one of my favorite things to ask, and like favorite question to answer in the exam. What happens? So I'll tell you, I completely get you, and this is so often asked in my life coaching clients because we all go through and meet people in life which are so opposite of us, and they want us to be a certain way. But do we lose ourselves to be that person? Well, starting out with is that etiquette and behavioral situations is something we all have to follow. If I go to a party, I cannot wear Indian clothes if the Western clothes is the etiquette or the what is allowed. So I will have to behave a certain way in a certain environment because that's what etiquette says, and we all have to follow. So, for example, if we go to an office, I am a very lucky, bubbly, happy-go-lucky person. I can't be that because that environment doesn't ask for me to behave that way. It asks for me to be a professional, a person. For example, I'm an accountant, I'm a CA. They ask me to be a certain way, behave a certain way. and doesn't mean I'm gonna leave myself, my authentic self. Of course, I'm not gonna do that, but I will have to behave a certain way to be in that situation. So it doesn't mean you're not being your authentic self. I will be my authentic self in the break time or when I am with my colleagues. I've found my people, but until then, there's certain decorum, there's behavioral thing you have to behave in, and your authentic self is not going out of the room. Trust me.
True.
Yeah.
True, 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 true. Because, like I said, it's very contextual in nature.
True. True. True.
And once you probably enter the room, with a boss who's possibly, quite opposite to you, or it could even be, it could even happen between spouses. It could even
True.
happen between friends, right? It's about not losing who you are, but at the same time, there is, you can remind yourself, hey, this is who I truly am, but contextually, to keep the engagement going and, to make it a very smooth flow of
I'm sorry
conversation.
to interrupt you again, but a quick point. Like, we all know people in our corporate careers, in life in general, that they're like, I am not this at my office. I'm a very different person. Or they are the funniest people in the office, and they come home and they're the most serious people.
People.
So they're not their authentic self, and they say that you have to behave a certain way, but you can't lose yourself, right? You have two different. Nobody can have two personalities. There's only one personality, one person. Like, it's just one way. You can behave in a certain way when asked to, but otherwise it's gonna be who you really are. If your boss doesn't like you to be that positive person, you have to maintain the certain distance, do your work, but you don't have to change yourself to just impress your boss, be a
Exactly.
serious person. Your
Exactly.
authenticity
Exactly.
can't be questioned because you'll not be happy then.
Exactly. Point well made. Yes. We have another question.
Hanji.
How do we overcome a situation when we are surrounded by a dominating personality? So it's something that we possibly touched upon, but I would like to take this and extend it to, let's say, a context. We took the work situation, but personality is not known to be just, the professional setting, right? Like we mentioned, it's between friends, it's between, what to say, within a marriage. It could be even between siblings. It
Children.
could be,
Yeah.
yes, it could be even between, a parent and a child. So, how do we, overcome? If there's a challenge, if there's a situation that we're facing because of that, because on the one hand, we are actually telling people, be who you are, be authentic. On the other way, it's like you have no idea what where I'm going through, right? So there's this conflict, and I know what people might be thinking. Does Amreen, do Amreen and Anu even know what I'm going through? They're just throwing, they're just saying anything that they want. Of course, point, well taken. And I'm sure Amreen, I mean, if you could take this question, we'd love to hear what you have to say.
Like you said, who have what have we been like? We all are in different situations, and trust me, I've been there where maybe sometimes I have dominated or I've been dominated. We all have been there. It could be in any relationship, a teacher and a student relation, very classic, you know. And okay, so a simple solution to this is that. Um, so when we talk about behaviors earlier, it is behaviors are majorly coping mechanisms, right? We all have our way of doing it. So to keep it simple, what I have in my control is myself. I cannot, for example, Anu and I, Anu, I am the dominating one, right? Or you are. So what is in your control is what I can do is when Anu dominates me, I'm gonna just go out of the way and I'm gonna have my way of coping through this behavioral thing. Doesn't I cannot change Anu's behavior, nor can she do mine. But I can behave a certain way when that happens to me, and I can find the way out of it. Or maybe I can tell Anu that when we are in a situation like this, I feel dominated by you and I don't like that. Maybe if you keep doing this to me, we will, our relation, the trust we have, the connection we have is going to go further away and it's not going to be the way it is. So I'm sure open
Yes.
communication, number one, the way you behave with somebody, it all comes down to that. Yeah.
Yes, actually, you're very, very right. Because I'm just checking if there are any questions. Yeah, I would actually even pull a leaf out of what you're saying. Sometimes, if somebody is actually dominating you, assume, okay, and it's okay to, assume and give them the benefit of the doubt, okay, that they don't know what they're doing. But if it has begun to, uh, corrode your personality, you have started adapting and becoming something else for them. I think it's time to sit down and have a talk with them, because, and especially if this person is really important to you, especially in relationships, okay, very intimate relationships, you need to be sitting down and talking to them and be a little assertive and say, hey, this behavior of yours is causing me this response inside of me. So I'd like you to, address this. And it is possible because when we do talk to people in a polite fashion, I guess people, in that kindness do respond. Okay. But most often we are like, boom, there's that Coca-Cola thing, that's what happens too. And I have done that too, I mean, I'm not
Me
embarrassed to
too.
say that. We all do it. But like, if that relationship, if that connection is absolutely important to you, I think it is time you actually told them that what you do, this what you do specifically, and use the context. When you do this in this situation, it affects me and this is what it causes me. And sometimes people will say, I didn't know that. Most often you'll hear people say, I didn't know that. So give them a chance, okay, and not be quick to conclude that they're bad people. Well, we'll figure that out later. But more the objective of the outcome of this one was personality, not just about, you know, dressing up and showing up. That is very important. Yes, contextually, yes, we need to look good and dress up accordingly, like you mentioned, in the case of a party or an office and things like that. But it's more about your personality from within. And that's something you can create, because we can wear beautiful clothes and actually make an impression, and that's something that goes by. But remember, your energy that you actually give, the vibe that you give, comes from your own thoughts, comes from what you believe in, comes from who you truly you believe who you are and what you can do to impact, right? So start at that level. Start, I mean, people have been talking about subconscious so much. Yes, it is about subconscious. Start to become aware, right? And
Everything is right.
Amreen, yes, we'd like you to, close this, and then I will say tata bye bye. So do you have, any, say, last minute thoughts that you want to share with our viewers?
Well, thank you so much, Anu. It's been my pleasure being here, and of course to our viewers, thank you for listening, guys. It was my absolute pleasure to answer those questions and take you through a little understanding of personalities, and how to demystify it. Well, I just have one takeaway for you is that you can be yourself, you do you, right? And just make sure that you are not disturbing others, you're not creating problems for others. Your personality is your power, and use it to your benefit, because there's nobody like you, right? We are all our unique selves. So people need you. We need that personality in the world, because you would create your own stuff with that personality. So more power to you. I'm going to see you soon. And thank you, Anu. It was my absolute pleasure.
Thank
Love.
you so much, Umreen. And it's beautiful to see young entrepreneurs doing their best to impact the world in beautiful ways, like the way you do coaching and training. And it's wonderful, because we need people like you to come out, speak very
Thank you.
candidly to each of us. And if there are any more questions, guys, that I know people watch Facebook Live much later also, it's happened. So if there are any questions, just put it down there and I will take it to Amreen and we will answer you right there.
Definitely,
That
we
keeps
shall.
happening to us all the time. So tune in on April 8th again for the next masterclass, and that's for it's the belief code. So it's just going to be a very beautiful transition from here, from personality and subconscious into the belief systems that you carry, right? And that's going to be by another brilliant speaker, and somebody who works with people and their minds very closely. And Amreen, thank you so much, not
Thank
just
you
for
so much.
addressing our viewers, but also becoming a part of this beautiful conscious circle of excellence. Because once we enter into that ring, that beautiful circle, you know what circle? There's no start, there's no.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful infinity. It just keeps going.
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
want to be reaching out to everybody out there. Whoever's watching us, not watching us, start watching us more. because we're going to keep coming with more, stuff which is very deep, very insightful, a lot of learning. And remember, every soul, has something to share. It's never that we have nothing to share. It's never that we can't, pass on, a takeaway. It is always every soul. So if anybody wants to be a part of this circle, conscious circle of excellence, it's just reach out to me. And if you love impacting, you can do this with us. Please come and let's all together, raise the level of consciousness in this beautiful, conscious, and loving planet. Thank you so much and keep tuned in. And from the Soulful Exploration, we thank you, Amreen Luthra, for being part of this beautiful journey. And signing off, guys. And you'll see me around all the time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.